Okay, welcome to our lesson today. Before I introduce our lesson, I will start by introducing myself, Mr. Gil Guris Sifuna Amondo, the science teacher, SUMEYA Integrated. So today I'm introducing the new topic as I proceed from where I left since the outbreak of the pandemic COVID-19. We have decided to continue covering the syllabus online this way. So welcome. The topic I'm supposed to start is about water. Now, before I introduce here, I will have to remind you that in the lower classes, Standard 5, Standard 6, 7, you have also been talking about water. So we will just continue picking from there as we summarize in this candidate class. In lower grades, lower classes, you learned about the different sources of water. You learned about different sources of water. In Standard 5 and Standard 4, you also talked about uses, different uses of water. In Standard 6, you should also connect that from lower class to Standard 6, you discuss about waterborne diseases. In Standard 7, without forgetting, you also discussed about water pollution. So we have to connect all these topics that you learned in your previous classes to this candidate class. Now today we are introducing the topic water in the candidate class, known as types of water. Okay, now that you had already covered these topics, I will have to erase them and now start from the level where you are. Now your level here is types of water. Now when to start, how can we define types of water? Types of water, we have two types of water. The types of water themselves are here. One is soft water and two is hard water. Okay, there are two types of water in our level here, which is first is soft water and second is hard water. Now, when you talk about these two different types of water, how can you know that this is soft water and this is hard water? You cannot tell the soft water and hard water by seeing with your naked eyes. So how can you do this? We will have to categorize the two types of water by use of an experiment or an activity. Now, how can we carry out the activity to know that this one is soft water and this one is hard water? The activity that we will carry out is this way. We will have some materials. We have to combine some materials that will assist us to know which one is soft and which one is hard water. Now, the activity. Which experiment will we do? Activity. The activity, now this is an experiment that we are going to perform to know that this is hard water and this is soft water. The materials that we require to perform this experiment is one, water from different sources. Water from different sources. That is why I said in a lower class you learned about sources of water. We have different sources of water. We have ocean water, we have river water, we have borehole water, we have water from the rain, we have water from the streams. So those are different sources of water. Now when we talk about different sources of water, we'll have to carry out an experiment using different sources of water. We convert that water there. Then second, we should have different basins. We should have also basins, because different sources, we should have, each source should have each basin. Then we should have we should have handkerchief, normal handkerchief or any washable material, like a cloth. It is washable. If it is washable, you should you can replace it with the handkerchief. Number 4, we should have a bar soap. Number 4, we should also have a bar soap as one of the material required to determine this experiment, to know this is soft and hard. Now, these are the materials that we require to perform this experiment. From there, we go to the procedure. We move to the procedure. Now, when you talk about the procedure, how are you going to carry out this experiment to determine that this is soft and this is hard water? The procedure is arrange these different basins. You arrange these different basins. We have, for example, the first basin here. We have the second basin here. We have that one here. We have the fourth one. You can have as many as possible. I mean, according to how many sources of water you have collected. Now, for example, we have a sticker. You should also be having a sticker. Here we say this is water from ocean. This is water from the lake. This is water from the borehole. And lastly, this is water from rain. That is an example. Now, add water in this first basin from the ocean. Add water from the second basin collected from the lake. Add water from collected from the borehole in that basin, and also add water collected from rain on the fourth basin. Then from there, after adding water in all the 4 basins, you take your handkerchief or any washable material, as I said, then soak in water. One handkerchief here, another handkerchief here, another handkerchief in this basin, and lastly another handkerchief there to soak. After the handkerchief will have soaked, then now you will start lathering. Lathering means you take the soap and add there now. You start lathering. You lather here with the soap, you lather here, and see which one is producing leather first and which one is not producing leather. Now from there, you will have to come up with your conclusion. What you have collected from your experiment. After the procedure, you will have to see what have you observed. Observations. This is now what you see, or what you have caught from your experiment. Our observation, you will find that in these different sources of water is lathering differently. One of it might lather faster than the other one. So you say some of the water might have produced leather faster because you start lathering at the same time and you stop at the same time. You don't say we lather here for 2 minutes and here 3 minutes. You start, if you say 1 or 2, you lather for the same time, then you stop at once. Now, in our observation, you will realize that either water from the lake is producing a lot of leather than water from the borehole or than from the rain. Now, that water that produces leather faster or more leather than the other one, that is said to be soft water. The water that leathers fast is what we call soft water, and the water that will take a long time or will not produce leather is said to be hard water. Hard water. Hard water takes a long time to leather or cannot leather. Now, I've said that in your observation, the water either from the rain that produces leather fast is said to be soft water, and that one that is not leather, you will find that is producing a layer at the top, a layer that covers the surface of water. And how will we call that layer? That layer is known as scum. That layer is known as scum, and that is what we call hard water. Now, that is the way that will determine you that this is hard water and this soft. I said in the beginning that you cannot tell with your eyes that this is hard and this, or you cannot feel with your hand. So what you are supposed to do is this experiment, and after leathering you will know that one that leathers fast is soft water, and that one that does not leather is said to be hard water. And if does not leather, I said it will form a layer at the surface of water, and the layer is known as scum. That is the activity that we will have to perform to determine that this is hard water and this is soft water. Now, advantages of hard water. Let us talk about advantages of hard water. These are two different types of water. So we have the advantage of hard water and also the disadvantage. We have to know it is hard. Why is it hard? It is hard because it is having a lot of dissolved salt, and this salt is magnesium and calcium. When we talk about hard water, how can you define hard water? Hard water, I've said, is water that contains more dissolved salt. Water that contains more dissolved salt is said to be hard water. And which are these salts we are talking about? The salts are, these salts are A, magnesium and calcium. These are the salts that they dissolve in water to make it hard water. Now, let me talk about advantages of hard water. We said that this is water that does not leather easily, so it is having its own advantage, and also it's also having disadvantage. Advantage. This dissolved, the first advantage is the important. When I talk of the advantage, is the importance of hard water. First advantage is this dissolved salt, which is magnesium and calcium, is very important and healthy for our body. Now, in which way? This dissolved salt, magnesium and calcium, is very important for the formation of strong bones in the body and also strong teeth. For you to have strong teeth and bones in the body, you must use hard water. So it's very important, is very important for the formation of strong bones and teeth. That is the first advantage. Is very important for the formation of strong bones and teeth. The second advantage of hard water is very tasteful. When you drink, has a good taste. Has a good taste to drink. The users, those people that use hard water, they will tell you that it has a very good taste when they are used. Number 3, it is also very useful, is very good for brewing industry. Is also very important for brewing industry. So these are the advantages of hard water. You know, it is having this. So one, it is very important for the formation of our strong bones and teeth. Number 2, has a good taste when you use it. And lastly, is good for brewing industry. Now, in any case where we have merits, demerits are also there. So advantage are here. Let us now talk about demerits. Disadvantages. Those are now the advantages. Let us see now the disadvantages of hard water. Disadvantages of hard water. 1, it discolors teeth. Number 2, wastes soap and energy in laundry work. It wastes energy and soap in laundry work. Number 3, it stains clothes in laundry work. It stains clothes in laundry work. It wastes soap. It causes clogging and blocking of the pipes. It causes clogging and blocking of the pipes. Number 5, it forms scales and fur on the boilers and also hot water pipes. Forms scales or fur. The other name of scale is fur on boilers and hot water pipes. And hot water pipes. When we talk about disadvantages, these are now the demerits. It discolors teeth. Those people, although it is having a good taste, but discolors teeth. You find some people, it wastes soap and energy in laundry work. When you are washing your clothes or any washable material using hard water, you will find that it is not leathering fast. So it wastes a lot of soap and also energy. For you to produce leather, you have to use a lot of energy. Number 3, stains clothes. If you have white garment or a white handkerchief and then you are using hard water, you find there are black spots there. Or if it is a different color, you find some spots there. It stains clothes. Number 4, it causes clogging and blockage of pipes. Pipes that pass water, you find it blocks because it is forming scales inside there. Lastly, the kettles, aluminum kettles, we have hot water pipes and also boilers in our kitchen. You find that they are forming scales. Those black spots that form on boilers and kettle, also hot water pipes, are known as scales, which is the same as fire. You can as well call them scales or fire. They are caused by use of hard water. Okay, now after discussing hard water, I come to soft water. I move to soft water. I move to soft water. Now, what is soft water? In hard water, we say it is containing a lot of dissolved salt, which is magnesium and calcium. In soft water, we say this is type of water that contain little or no dissolved salt. It contains little or no dissolved salt. Let me write the explanation. It is a type of water that contains little or no dissolved salt. That is explanation of soft water. Soft water is a type of water that has little or no dissolved salt. Now, what are the disadvantages of this type of water and what are their disadvantages? Now, we start with the advantages first. What are the advantages of soft water? One, does not stain clothes. In laundry work. Two, it does not waste soap and energy. Still in laundry work, does not waste a lot of soap. You know, it is economical now. You have to use little and save for tomorrow. Does not waste a lot of soap and energy. Three, it saves times. I have already written. Does not clog hot water pipes. Does not clog hot water pipes and boilers. It is now opposite on hard water. This does not clog hot water pipes and boilers. It does not waste a lot of energy and soap. It does not stain clothes. Does not discolor teeth. Four, does not discolor teeth for the users of soft water. Now it is now vice versa on the other side. In hard water, whatever we were talking as the disadvantages, now are the disadvantages, are the advantages I mean here. Does not stain clothes, does not waste soap and energy because it is lathering very fast, does not clog hot water pipes and boilers, and does not discolor teeth for the users. You will find their teeth is very smart, white and clean. Now let's come to disadvantages of hot water. Under disadvantages of soft water, we have this. We have has no minerals disadvantages. Number one, have no important minerals for our bones and teeth. On the other side, we say hard water have very important mineral magnesium and calcium for our teeth and strong bones. But here does not have those minerals, so does not make our teeth strong and bones. Number two is not good for it does not have a good taste. Does not have a good taste. Number 2 does not have a good taste for those people who use it. Does not have a good taste as compared to the other type of water. Now, as I summarize, I want to talk about types of hardness. We have only talked about hard water. Now, when we talk about hard water, types of hardness, there are different types of hardness. Type we have only 2 types of hardness according to different salt that has been dissolved in different type of water. Now, we have salt that can cause temporary hardness as the first type of hardness, and second we have those salt that can cause permanent hardness of water. Now, when we talk about temporary and hardness, we say this hardness can be removed by human beings. Now, how can we remove temporary hardness and how can we remove permanent hardness? Temporary hardness can be removed by boiling or distillation. Temporary hardness can be removed by boiling or distillation. That is the method that can remove temporary hardness. And permanent hardness cannot be removed by these 2 methods, which is boiling and distillation. If the type of hardness is permanent, then permanent hardness can be removed by use of a chemical known as washing soda. Permanent hardness can be removed by a chemical known as washing soda. Now, lastly, we have temporary hardness and permanent hardness, and you have seen 2 different ways on how you can remove temporary hardness and how you can remove permanent hardness. Now, these 2 methods of removing is known as the method of removing hardness. This process is known as the process of removing hardness is known as softening. Okay, now to that juncture, I call it the end of my lesson, and at the bottom of this video you will have 10 questions concerning this topic. Try to attempt, and in case you have a problem, send it to our WhatsApp number, and then I will have to give you the feedback. Thank you very much.